Hello and welcome to episode 160 of the HamCorp Training Manual. In this episode, we begin the long journey towards Stargate. Well, we continue the long journey towards Stargate. We craft more Astral arrays, finally clean up the QFT room, and continue to add more machines to address bottlenecks. Hi there. I have crafted 50,000 UMV wireless energy hatches. I have not played the game for 3 days. In that process, I have discovered many pain points in my base. The biggest of which, by far, is actually the advanced assembly lines. These are very slow. Very slow. Especially when it comes to making quantum circuits. The UXV circuits. I needed something like 200,000 quantum circuits for these 50,000 energy hatches. And that step alone, took 10 hours. This craft, in total, took me about 50 hours to complete. So much so that my percentage of time AFK has gone up by like 3% since the last time I looked. And that's a lot, because consider how many hours I have played right now. For it to go up by more than 1% is insane, let alone 3%. Anyway, the advanced assembly lines are one pain point. Another one is my QFTs. I never got around to finishing off these QFTs, so I need to do that. That's another thing I'm going to work on, and I've already done that. I've requested many quantum force transformers. I think I have enough for 11, I want to say, tier 4 QFTs. And you may also notice I have some compact fusion parts. I requested 2 more because making Oganescent is surprisingly slow, just because of how much I need. I'm considering putting it on passive even, because I need so much Oganescent all the time. And yeah, those are my main pain points right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to upgrade my advanced assembly lines to use, for now, I think I'll do these UXV 16,000 amp laser hatches. That's 8 trillion, almost 9 trillion EU per tick each. So that's that times 64. For when the AALs are on, and I think that's maybe fine, I hope. But to do that, I need to first upgrade my precise assemblers, because this is a UXV craft. That is something I need to do, and something I have actually already done. So now I have UXV 1000 amp laser hatches on all of the presses, so that's good. Besides that, I still have one singular fluid extractor. So I need more of these. I have one singular chem bath, so I need to make more of these, and low tier circuits. I have one circuit assembly line for each of them, except for I think EV circuits or HV circuits, one of them, where I have a double. So yeah, that's another thing that needs to be added. Also, I think this renaming forming press is also quite bad. I just have one. There's a lot of stuff that you'd be surprised that I've just been surviving with one, but these are not the bottlenecks, which is insane. It's the AALs that are the bottlenecks. Well, more infra today. Well, I mean, that's not surprising. There's nothing left. There's infra and there's gate. That's it. So yeah, more infra today. It's been like another day or so. I've finished setting up most of my important QFTs, like all the fundamental things like rubber, plastic, indalloy, that kind of thing. Also some Naquada and Naquadria, and I've thought a bit more about the QFT recipes, and I don't really think I need all of them. Like, realistically, do I really need the platinum ones? Because I've set it up, but like, I make all of this stuff with Eye of Harmony, and I have billions of all of them, so I don't know if it's really needed. Same thing with the seaweed. I don't think I really use seaweed anymore because I've kind of totally switched to opticals. I don't make bios or wetwares anymore. Yeah. I do still need this one, the biocells one, because it gives me mutated living solder, which I need. And therefore I also need the stem cells one, which is a bit unfortunate, but it's fine. But yeah, there's a few of these that I'm like, do I really need this? Even the Naquada and Naquadria ones, like, do I really need these? I'm gonna get a lot of this stuff from the Eyes of Harmony, so I don't know. I've set them up anyway, just for completeness, and I've already made all of these QFTs, so I may as well. Also, you may have noticed, my frame rate has been absolutely terrible lately. And I don't know how to fix it. It's approaching the point where I might start turning off my shaders. Anyways, I've also made a stack of 16,000 amp UXV laser hatches. And I got a bit lucky here because all of these LSCs have a UIV capacitor, which is just enough to power 8 of these per LSC. And that is exactly how many I am powering per LSC. So that's kind of nice. That does mean, however, when I upgrade again, and I likely will upgrade again, I'm also going to have to upgrade the LSCs. Besides that, I kind of have nothing else to say. It's just, I'm just waiting. Universium check. This is a Universium checkpoint. Show me your Universium. 108 million. I actually had 20 million more than this. But that's how much it cost me to make these target and source hatches. Which hurt. So I really need to get more Astral arrays as soon as possible. Anyway, first up, I'm gonna deal with this. Another problem I've run into is actually my fluid shapers are a bit too slow. That is easily rectified because these are running at 1 amp of UMV. And as you saw earlier in the episode, I have 50,000 wireless UMV hatches. So I am going to 8 hatch every single one of these. That'll bring it up to max voltage. Oh yeah, way faster. Finally got done making 7 more Astral arrays. One of them has gone into the black dwarf matter generator, or Eye of Harmony, and 6 of them have gone into the Universium one. So now, I have a total of 15 Astral arrays, and I'm making 589 liters per second of molten Universium. Very slow. So that's going to keep going. I may make another set of Astrals to bring it to the next threshold, which I think is 11 more Astral arrays, if I remember correctly. I have 15, and I think the next threshold is at 26. I think, because of how it scales, if I make fewer than that many, I actually don't get any benefit. So I need to make it to that next threshold to get more output. So 11 more Astral arrays is maybe not that bad. Well, it's pretty bad, but the bottlenecks around the base need to be addressed first. So I have 2 options to deal with my compressor bottleneck, and I think I'm going to do both. So first of all, I could place more HIPs, more hot isostatic pressurization units, and I will do that, but it's a little cramped in this room, and I don't know where I can fit it without blocking view of something else, because I can't really put it on the walls. I think that would look a little weird because of the shape of it. So I think I'm going to put it over here, kind of in the QFT building, but I don't think the QFTs are going to need all of this space, especially because this one still needs to be moved. And I can just build a little extra bit of platform above the DTPFs. So I think I should go here. I've got 3 on me. I have the other one over there somewhere. It's still working. So I'm going to set this up. But that's only half of the compression problem, because I think even with multiple hips, it's still not going to be fast enough. So I may move some extreme mass production recipes into the black hole compressor, like glowstone. That should be way faster than this. But let me start with these hips. I'll figure something out. This is pretty cute. Cute little wall shared hip quad. I could probably make this an octo hip by wall sharing this upside down again. Maybe I will, we'll see. But I don't know how reliable this automation is. I think it should work. But basically what I'm doing is I'm reading the heat from just one of them and using that to determine whether all of the others should be on or not. And there's a little bit of leeway here because this is set to 5 and inverted, and the other side is set to 80 and normal. So there's still like 20% heat of buffer space. So I think this will work. I didn't want to set up a control circuit for every single one, and this way it's more scalable also. Assuming this works fine. I think it does because of the buffer space, but assuming it works fine, this can just be scaled forever. I don't need to make a new circuit for every single hip, but I can already tell this is significantly faster. I've also moved all of the recipes out of the normal compressor, so I'm just going to get rid of this. The other 2 bottlenecks I mentioned are right in front of me, so the fluid extractor and the chem bath. I'm going to make a few more of these as well. Probably won't need too many for now. Maybe the chem bath I could use a whole bunch, but the fluid extractors are really fast. So I probably don't need that many more. This is pretty cool. I kind of like this design a lot for my 8 fluid extractors. I think that should probably be enough for now. If I need more, I can always build on this side and make another 8. But it's pretty cool. Cute little design. And here are the chem bats. I just kind of managed to stuff them in here next to the wire factories. They need a bit of decoration still, but this is probably okay for now. It's kind of off to the side anyway. Well, it kind of even looks cool already. Now, I am going to get back to crafting. I think that's most of my bottlenecks addressed. I'm probably gonna find a few more, but I'll just address them along the way. But now, time to make a whole bunch of Gallifreyan parts. And probably a few extra for 11 more Astral arrays. I should probably prioritize that even. Let's do another 11 Astral arrays. Why not? Let's see if I can do all of these Gallifreyans in one go. Probably won't be able to. This is going to be a lot of AFK. I'll be back in a bit. Quick little side note. My catalyst milestone is almost done. The final catalyst milestone. And I'm literally, even now, I'm still using dimensionally transcendent residue for this. I should probably turn this number up a little bit. But yeah, I have had the server running for so long and been AFKing so hard that this is nearly done, just from DT residue. Normally, what you want to do is, as soon as you have like MHD CSM that you can sort of afford to throw away, you want to switch to that, finish off the milestones, and then probably switch back to condensed raw stellar plasma mixture. But I haven't done that, and I'm nearly done. That's how long this has taken me. I haven't needed the third Godforge ring. Wait, the third Godforge ring. I forgot about that. I need to craft that. But this doesn't really gate that. But I haven't needed to finish this milestone. So the fact that it's nearly done regardless is really funny. I haven't been trying to finish it. But it should be done soon. In other news, I don't remember if I mentioned this earlier in the episode. If I did, I'm going to remove this section. I miscalculated how many Stargate plates I need. It's actually 348. So I need almost 22k stabilization field gens. That's almost twice as much as what I thought. That's gonna hurt. But I have enough temporal and spatial structure casings already. So it's just everything else, which is more expensive. I gotta wait even more. Good thing I have 3 TP to play. New bottleneck discovered. It's the forming presses, because I make the optical CPU containment housings in here. And this is quite slow as well. Much too slow. This craft has been going for hours and hours and hours, and I'm pretty sure the optical CPU containment housings have been crafting from the beginning, and they're still not done. Now luckily, I have sort of planned for this, because I left space above and to the right, and I guess also above and to the right, for more forming presses. I did overclock these. I added another UMV energy hatch, but that's not enough. I just need more of them. Luckily these are cheap, and this is going to be very quick and easy to set up. Besides that, still circuit assembly lines, and I think what I'm going to do with them is I'm going to reorganize these machines here. So first of all, I can get rid of this chem bath actually, but all the machines that are still seeing use, I think I'm going to move them to the bottom layers, and then these circuit assembly lines can just go on the top. I don't think I'm going to need that many, considering how much I'm willing to just wait. So I think upgrading these to UXV and then just making like a couple on these top shelves will probably be enough to take me all the way to gate. At least I'm hoping it is. So that's my plan. Like I said, easily fixed. One thing I want to say though about these new forming presses on the right, they only have the one proxy. I'm not proxying every single recipe over, just this one bus. Because I took a look at all the other buses and like, I don't need 128 forming presses making like printed logic circuits. That's not required. So just this one, the first stack doing all recipes is fine. And the second stack is just going to take the proxy that has the optical CPU containment housing. That way, if I find that even after this, making those is too slow, I can just overclock the right half even more by 8 hatching it instead of double hatching it. The rest of the recipes don't need to be overclocked that much. Now, making optical processors is something else that has popped up while I was working on this. This is also slow. This is my 576 circuit assembly lines, remember? And those are slow now. So what I need to do is I need to make some UXV wireless energy hatches, and it'll be like I have 576 times 4 optical processor cals. I refuse to build more of them. So I'm going to upgrade them to UXV, and then that's that. If I need to wait a week, I'll wait a week. Like, I am not building more of those. That was one of the experiences of all time. Luckily, I don't need to make 576 UXV wireless energy hatches. I need to make that number divided by 4, which is 144, I think, because it's quad shared, remember. So I need to make those, and these 8 that I'm making right here are for the low tier circuits. I still have to put together the cals for those. Thank you for watching this episode of the HamCorp Training Manual. In the next episode, we will build the third and final Godforge ring, unlocking inversion. This may well be the final new mechanic for us in this playthrough, after which there truly is nothing but Stargate ahead. See you next time.